Hello, 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 and welcome back to The Flying Duke. This is your go-to channel for all things legendary in the world of aircraft. Today we are diving into the incredible world of the F-117. So let's get on with it, take a seat, and get ready for an exciting journey through the skies. If you like what you've been seeing on our channel, please consider clicking the subscribe button. This way you won't miss any of our new videos, and your support is incredibly important to us, and we want to make sure that you're part of our aviation adventures. And thank you for being part of the Flying Duke community. Enough of all that, let's get on with it. The F-117 Nighthawk holds legendary status in the aviation history. It earned its reputation as the very first genuine stealth fighter, even though the US Air Force initially kept it shrouded in secrecy. Public curiosity about this extraordinary aircraft had been steadily growing since its clandestine maiden flight in 1981, reaching a feverish climax when it was formally unveiled to the public in 1988. However, there was a significant trade-off to achieving true stealth capabilities. To become nearly invisible to radar, an aircraft had to sacrifice much of its aerodynamic stability. This challenge was not unique to the F-117. In 1964, a Soviet mathematician named Pyotr Ofimptsev published a groundbreaking paper titled The Method of Edge Waves in a Physical Theory of Diffraction. In this work, he presents a profound analysis of how radar technology functions. He revealed a crucial insight. The key factor determining whether an object could evade radar detection was not its size, but the shape of its edges. This revelation captured the attention of aircraft manufacturers worldwide. It implied that even a large aircraft could be designed to elude radar detection so long as its edges were the correct shape. As Soviet radar and anti-aircraft technology continued to advance, this insight became increasingly vital. It paved the way for the development of stealth technology, ultimately resulting in groundbreaking aircraft like the F-117 Nighthawk. In the 1970s, the US government had a problem to solve: that they needed a fighter aircraft that would essentially become invisible to enemy radar. After Lockheed's Skunk Works division had been away from the fighter aircraft game for about 10 years, they decided to tackle this challenge head-on. This marked the beginning of the ultra-secretive project Have Blue. Now, here's the key idea. To make an aircraft slip past enemy radar, it needed a unique design. This design involved flat, angular surfaces that would deflect radar waves away, sort of like a ninja dodging laser beams in a high-tech heist. To boost this stealthiness, they even used special paints that soaked up radar waves, like a sponge and a magnetic field combined in one. But there was a catch, and it was a big one. This aircraft, known as the F-117 Nighthawk, was not your average fighter jet. In fact, it was a bit of an oddball. When the first test pilots saw it, they could not believe their eyes. The plane's appearance was so unusual that test pilots jokingly called it a wobbly goblin. Flying the Nighthawk wasn't a walk in the park either. It had a reputation for being a bit of a handful in the sky, so you might wonder, why would anyone bother with an aircraft that's hard to fly and looks so strange? Well, it all comes down to stealth. This aircraft was designed to be slow on purpose. It didn't have a high-speed afterburner because that would create a fiery infrared trail that would give away its position. And supersonic flight? No. That was off the table too. Breaking the sound barrier would generate a thunderous sonic boom, making the Nighthawk about as stealthy as a marching band in a library. Despite these challenges, the F-117 Nighthawk had a unique role. Its job was to slip past enemy defensive and deliver precision strikes. It might not have been the fastest or the most agile aircraft in the sky, but it had a mission: to be sneaky and strike with precision. So, in a world of high-speed jets and flashy maneuvers, the Nighthawk carved out its own niche, proving that sometimes being a bit unconventional can be a winning strategy. As a bomber, the F-117 Nighthawk had an important role to play. Fortunately, not all of its stealthy features came at the cost of its performance. This aircraft was literally covered in special radar-absorbing sheets, each one weighing nearly a ton. These sheets were stuck onto the aircraft using a kind of special glue. Any gaps between the sheets were filled with a putty affectionately known as secret glue. Despite its limitations in the air, the Nighthawk's stealth capabilities completely changed the way the US waged war. When it showed up in conflict zones, it signaled America's unique ability to outsmart its opponents on the battlefield, often before they even knew what hit them. You might remember the Nighthawk best from its deployment in the Gulf War of 1991. During that conflict, it was responsible for making direct hits on a whopping 600 high-value targets. That's impressive, right? But like all good stories, there was a twist. In 1999, during a skirmish in Yugoslavia, the Nighthawk's reign as a symbol of the US aerial superiority came to a very abrupt end. It was shot down by an old Soviet-era S-125 missile system, and this was a pretty outdated anti-aircraft system, but here's the kicker. Colonel Zoltan Dani and the 250th Air Missile Defense Brigade used a clever low-bandwidth radar to trigger a higher bandwidth radar at just the right moment when the F-117 would become visible to it. So, the Nighthawk was outsmarted. It had its moments of glory, changing the game in aerial warfare, but even the stealthiest of heroes can meet their match. Colonel Zoltan Dani, a clever strategist, did not rely solely on technology to take down the F-117 Nighthawk. He had a team of spotters who used their eyes to search for the plane. You see, the Nighthawk wasn't invisible to the naked eye. Using this ingenious approach, they successfully shot down the seemingly invisible aircraft. It was a rare event. The only time it happened was in combat. Thankfully, the pilot ejected and was safely rescued, but the aircraft itself fell to the ground almost intact. Now, this allowed both the Russians and the Chinese to get their hands on it. This dramatic event on the battlefield made the US Air Force re-evaluate the Nighthawk. They started to think that maybe its tactical advantages weren't worth its shortcomings as an aircraft, so despite its remarkable history, the world's first stealth fighter made its last appearance in 2001 during Operation Enduring Freedom and in 2003 during Operation Iraqi Freedom. It was officially retired in 2008 with a ceremony to honor its over 20 years of service. All of the retired Nighthawks were stored in a sort of flyable storage facility and kept in pretty good shape. Later on, Lockheed, the company that made the Nighthawk, developed a new aircraft that used smart ballistic systems and computer-aided designs to dodge radar without sacrificing how they flew. But here is where it gets intriguing. Despite being considered obsolete, there are still sightings of the iconic Nighthawk in the skies, even after its supposed retirement. Some people believe that it's being used as a stand-in jet for testing new stealth detection technology, and if that's true, it would be quite the full circle journey for the Nighthawk, proving that you can never count out a true legend. Thank you for watching, everyone. We're very eager to hear your thoughts on this video, so please leave your comments in the section below. If you have a legendary aircraft in mind that you'd like to discuss, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. And if you found our content enjoyable, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. This ensures you will stay updated and never miss our next video. Over and out.